Everyone, it's Nate Smoyer from Real Team Panda, the host of the Tenants podcast, and today I wanted to bring you a review of a product that I switched to recently. I'm really happy I switched. I want to go over some of the features that you're going to want to know if you're a landlord and you manage your own properties, or if you're a landlord and you got someone else manage your properties and you're tired of paying the high fees and not happy with the service. I'm going to promise you this is going to be worth your time in watching this video, and you're going to want to learn more about this product called Avail. So Avail, you may have heard of them previously. They were called Rentalutions, and they just rebranded not too long ago, I believe within the last year or so. And they are the go-to one-stop shop solution for all your landlord needs. And I'm going to go over that. So without going into everything, okay, you go to the website, avail.co, okay, and you'll find out everything you want. I mean, there's just so much content here, okay? And, the education tab, fantastic. Go through the features, which we're going to go through today. And they've got a lot of stuff for tenants as well. Not a lot of companies focus on the tenant experience, but as you know, in managing your property, your tenant is the customer. You got to focus on the end customer, the end user. So let's walk through this one by one. What is Avail? What do they do for landlords, and why does it matter to you? First off, let's talk about rental listings. Obviously, you've got to get your property out there. You've got to market it. You got to get it in front of people. So one thing that's really nice about Avail is that the listing process is super simple, and this is obviously where you're going to get started. So to create your listing, you just enter in the basic information, you submit it once, and then they syndicate it across all the other websites. Zillow, Trulia, HotPads, Apartments.com. This is going to get you a massive amount of traction, and you're going to start getting more leads because of that. Obviously, you want to be in all the different places, but you don't want to take all the time setting up profiles here and there and posting it here and posting it there. They'll do that for you. It works really well. I was surprised actually when the first time I used it, how easy it went. It was pretty fast. So the second piece to this is applications. And as you got people coming to you, they're saying, hey, I want to look at the property. They come out, look at the property. Or maybe they're like, I want to get this place. I'll tell you what I do, and then you follow your heart on what you want to do. But I do applications in two steps. The first is a prelim application. This is not, I don't charge for this, and you can do it in Avail, and it's free. The application only collects their name, their phone number, their email, so you know who you're showing a property to or letting in the door to look at your rental. It doesn't collect things like, verification of employment or credit or background check. So it's a free preliminary application. What I found was the looky-loos drop right there. They don't even want to go any further. So you're going to waste less time showing properties to less qualified tenants. And it's really easy to do in Avail. You can actually set the parameters for the type of application. So in this preliminary application, I get things like employment history and income. I even get some references. And this is just really easy. And also this is free for both you, the landlord, and the applicant. So you don't have to worry about any reasons not to do this. Now, if we want to get the credit check, the background check, and eviction check, well, that is in the next step. What we would really do is through the tenant screening here. So in the screening reports, you get to choose what you want. So like I said, that preliminary application, I basically just do a renter profile. And this helps me know, who's coming out to look at this property. You can move up to credit, but I highly recommend you always go full screening. Now, this $45 charge, that is not a charge to you, the landlord. That is for the tenant. Again, this helps cut rid of all the people who aren't serious. They're not ready to move. They're not ready to move in, or they're not able to. Or they've got something they know they need to hide, and they're going to move to the next landlord who's not going to do the screening process. You're going to save yourself a lot of money and a lot of headache down the line if you take this process seriously. So do the full screening background check. It does all of this. It goes through everything. It really is amazing on how well the background checks and everything goes through. You get these reports, right? So you can see the TransUnion score, whether or not they use a lot of their credit, if they've ever done anything bad in their history, and set your own standards of what you want from a tenant. If you want a clean rap sheet, they've never done anything wrong, that's up to you. If you're saying, hey, you know what, a misdemeanor, I'll let that slide, but nothing greater, again, totally up to you. I have my own red flags, and Avail will help you with that as well. Now, I think is pretty cool though is the eviction check. You got to do this. this actually gets missed in a lot of other background and credit checks, is they don't do the eviction check. You really want to know the tenant's history. And one of the things Avail does is they'll actually have the tenant fill out the last 5 years of tenant history, and then Avail automatically attempts to verify that for you. So you actually get some background information on who's moving in, and it's a really nice feature. Now, obviously, if you do the screening properly, right, you did your marketing, you did your screening, you got the right applicant, they paid the fee, looking good. The next step is the lease. And if you've never written a lease, or if you have written a lease, you know that it can be a little bit of a pain to know some of the local laws. Local laws are often changing, and sometimes the wording's off or funny and confusing, and you're not really sure what to add or what not to add. One thing that Avail does really nicely is that they help you create your digital lease. So as you're writing the lease, it actually suggests what you should or maybe shouldn't move in there. And then they have what they call, I think it's called local assist. So they've already hired the lawyers to look into, hey, what are some local things that we need to have in these leases? So like here you have Chicago residential lease. And, my area in Bellingham, Washington, it suggested some things that I needed for the Washington state. And so you're going to want that in there. You're going to want to make sure you're covered on all bases. But I read through the lease. It wasn't overly long. It wasn't overly wordy, but it was a good, solid lease. Now, I had to modify mine recently. I had to rent out a shop as a non-residential property, and that was also very easy. There was a few things I had to remove and a few things I wanted to put in, and that was very, very easy. So with all the local assist and then the pre-written lease, and then once I had written it up, I just email it to the tenant, and they sign it. And then we both have digital copies. We both signed it. We're both in the same platform with Avail. So, they can see all the details about the property. I can see all the details about my tenant. We both have the lease. So you're never having to worry about, hey, did you get this? Did you sign this? That kind of thing. Now, the next step is payment. And I got to talk about payment because obviously none of this is worth anything if it doesn't pay. You've heard it before. It doesn't make sense if it doesn't make dollars. And so the payment is really easy as well. So the way this works is you actually just send a request to the tenant to pay the deposit as well as to set up rent. And because it's automatically, we can actually have the rent scheduled, and then it can be every single month. So this is something I ask my tenants to do, and it's a requirement that they have to use this platform. They have to pay through this. And I've never once had pushback on this. Tenants don't mind saying that, hey, I don't want to write a check. No one wants to write a check. Who's got time for that? I'm not going down to 7-Eleven to put it in some deposit service. I'm not doing money orders, and I'm definitely not doing cash. So all the money is handled this way. It's bank grade security. You can trust that it's secure, and the tenant no longer has to worry about did they pay rent or not. And it keeps record. It's a transparent record keeping of how much rent has been paid and when. So I think you're really going to like that. And there's two last pieces here I want to talk about for you guys. Now, landlord maintenance, you got to set up the proper channels between you and your tenants. Okay? I think this is a cool feature. I haven't had to use it because I haven't had any issues. But you can tell your tenant, hey, look, if there's ever a problem on the property, use the maintenance ticket system in Avail so that there's record and you can go back and forth. Now, becomes really good, especially if you have 4 or 5 properties, because then there's only one channel where all that stuff is going. You're going to get email alerts anyway, but instead of clogging up your email inbox with back and forth with the tenant, it's all in one place. It's easy to track and sort through later down the line because, like tax time, for instance, you're going to want to do that to make sure you get all your expenses covered. And last but not least, if you're not sure where to start, if you're not sure how your market's working out, this is a really cool report. And honestly, this is something that I think a lot of realtors will probably like, is the rental analysis that Avail provides. It's better than most services out there you're going to find. It's definitely better than what I think you're going to find on the big realtor marketplaces. It's just a simple one-pager. It shows you what's happening in the area on rental units and based on, local data. So it's not made up stuff. It's not, just kind of hypothetical. And, that you use this rental analysis to make sure that you're doing the best you can on your rental. It's not going to guarantee you anything, but you're going to get good information, and it's really inexpensive. I think it was like $20. But the data will save you. It'll save you a half hour, an hour at least, if not more, of doing your own homework. Now, the last thing I want to cover here, and then we'll keep it moving because I know you got things to do, is pricing. I don't want you to get scared away on any pricing, okay? Now, if you're an individual landlord and you've got one property, Avail will cost you nothing, okay? That $2 bank fee, that comes from the tenant. The tenant pays that. You're totally fine, okay? If you want to add more than one unit, it's just $6 per unit. I think you can work that in to your rental costs, $6 a month. And before you say, like, why should I pay for this? Look, it's going to save you time. It's going to save you effort. It's going to organize things. It's going to be better. You're actually going to run your business better. And I hear a lot of people talking about it. You should run your rentals like you run a business. But they don't run their rentals like they run a business. This is a business. Okay, so you should be taking your business seriously and doing the things to make it run better. All right, now look, if you want to upgrade to the landlord level, it's just $10 a month plus $6 additional unit, and there's no bank fee. So you don't have to worry about that back and forth with your tenant if they don't want to pay the bank fee, which honestly $2. That's what we're talking about here. And then again, you get fast pay, so you get paid really fast, and I'll open that so that we can show you that one. And you get a marketing website for your properties. So if you do have multiple properties, now you got a marketing website done for you. That alone is going to save you time, money, and effort, okay? And you're going to look better. You're going to get better tenants. And then if you're the Landlord Plus, it's $25 a month. It comes with 5 units, so now you're down to $5 a unit. There's no bank fees, and you're down to $4 per unit. And if you want to go above that, there is an option with $50 a month. You'll obviously want to, take and you could do all these on the free trial, by the way. 30-day free trial. There's no harm. So if you're thinking like you got a rental 3 months down, 4 months down the line that you're going to turn over, do the 30-day trial. Go in there, play around with it, see what it looks like. I mean, you're going to want to get that thing leased out anyway. 60 days out from the lease turning over, you're going to start marketing that property. Okay, get yourself a new tenant. So take a look at this at slash pricing and then the fast pay. I did want to pull this up because obviously you want to know what is fast pay. All right, here we go. With ACH transfers, you can be waiting up to 3 business days. Next day payment. So look, you get paid the next day. Okay, so if you're on landlord plan, you're talking 1 day later. Bam, you're getting your money. It's that fast. Boom. And if you got things to do, if you got a lot of projects, or if you need that money fast, this is great. It's a great option. Keep your business liquid. Keep that cash flow flowing. Anyway, that's Avail. I highly encourage you to check it out. Look, it's avail.co. It's a great solution for landlords of all sizes, but definitely if you're wanting to do things yourselves, you want to save a little bit of money, and you want to make your business that much better, you're not going to go wrong. This is the solution to check it. So check it out, avail.co. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, nate@realteampanda.com. I'll put all the information in the comments or in the information below in like the notes section and all that. And hit me up if you have any questions. But hey, I hope you give it a shot. If you do, leave me a comment below. Tell me that you gave it a shot. And if you want to see more videos like this, if you got a product you want me to review, hey, send that over and I'll go ahead and do that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I think this is long enough. And appreciate you guys watching. Hope this was helpful for you. Take care.